Well, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to have you back with us again this week. Another fabulous week. Upon popular demand, we have Terrie Christine joining us again, and we're going to absolutely love what she has to share with us. And as I told you before, Terrie is one of the catalysts for me, even looking as closely as I have been to spirituality. That being said, you all know, if you don't, you will. You all know I'm really excited about the upcoming retreat in October. So I'm going to play just a real quick snippet about what we're going to do at the retreat, and then I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Karen Perkins, and I am so excited to invite you to the Power of You retreat. This is an energy healing retreat that is like no other. See, I'm claircognizant, which means that I can look in your eyes with your permission, and I know what your soul needs at that very moment. And because of that, when you come to my retreat, because there's only going to be a handful of us there, I'm going to be able to start the retreat off by looking into your eyes, finding out what your soul needs, and then we will modify accordingly. Now, we already have tons and tons of activities and things planned, so we'll have a lot to choose from, but your needs will be met. This is all-inclusive, means everything but airfare is covered. This is meals, a shuttle to and from the hotel, accommodations based on double occupancy, massages, yes, I said S, massages, yoga, sound therapy, sweat lodge, all kinds of things. And we are going to have the most transformative experience that you've ever had. You're going to laugh, you're going to cry, you're going to go home with new friends, new hope, and with a sense of what it is you want and that you can do it. I will see you there.
Yay! I'm so excited for the retreat. I really am. And we have another spiritualist that's going to join us there. I will announce that special announcement probably on Monday. And I do have the Monday show now called Karenisms. And we talked a couple of times about embarrassing moments here on this show. So we're going to leave Monday for all of the embarrassing moments, for short stories, for experiences, and everybody put in comments things that you want to know about and hear about. But they are going to be two separate shows. This one is about empowering journeys, um, where we bring you transformative stories of self-discovery and empowerment and things of that nature. That one's going to be Karenisms, where it's just going to be stories and tales and talking about things that are important to us at that time. That being said, I again am so excited for my good friend Terrie Christine to be on the show this week. Um, she, again, she's incredible. She's done just about everything. She's an internationally acclaimed intuitive, yes, and she is, and wonderful, awesome energy healer. And she's been transforming lives for over 18 years. And like I said, I met her about 8-9 years ago, and instantly she transformed my life. She is renowned for helping people break free from the limiting beliefs and emotional blocks and offering profound clarity and peace. And with her unique abilities, she's touched individuals worldwide. And she's going to touch us worldwide. And today we're going to talk about her journey in discovering and how we can take the journey of unlocking our money manifestation. Boy, spell that one and say it. Money manifestation. I can say manifest. I just can't say manifestation. There you go. Unlocking your money manifestation power with cash confidence. And with that, now that I've tripped over that several times, we can add that to the Monday show. Let's go ahead and bring Terrie on, and she can giggle at me and tell us more about all of the wonderful things she's been up to.
I'm back here going, okay, spit it out.
It's like I say the word, it just wouldn't come out of my mouth.
Oh, you're amazing. That's okay. I mean, we just get tongue tied on certain things. But yeah, this topic, it has been, I did a huge, I do Power Stream, which is my live online group energy clearing. and this topic came up, and it was blowing everyone away, because it's the hidden compartments that we have about being confident in our cash, and and how we can shift that into manifesting and using our manifestation powers.
Yeah. I'm going to stop you there. Tell me again where they can join you.
Oh, well, you mean where they can find me, or because right now we're live on my Facebook page too?
Well, yeah, but you said there's a power group or something that
Yes,
you do.
Power Stream. So you can actually find more information on my website, which is under terrie.com, and then work with me, and then it'll be Power Stream, and then you can find all that information. It's a monthly online group energy clearing, and it's the first of every month.
Okay, so we got your thing up on screen, terriechristine.com. So I just wanted to make sure they knew where to find you outside of the show.
Yes.
And everyone, just so you know, you can always in the comments. In fact, we do see the comments that you put down. So comment as we go. I'm not sure if we get your comments or not, Terrie, from your site. We'll find out. Somebody from Terrie's live stream comments so we can see if we get them. I know we get them from all of mine. I would imagine we get them from yours. But make a comment, tell her, I want to get with you, and then we can make those arrangements. But you can always comment or contact my executive assistant, Jace, and he will get you that information. I'm going to put up Jace's information. In fact, Jace, can you put up staff at Dr. Yep, there you go. That's Jace's information, staff at drkarenperkins.com. And if he doesn't know the answer, he knows the people who do. But he can get you in touch with Terrie as well if you don't get through to her the other way. So that being said, okay, you can take that off. Thanks. Jace is running the show for me. Normally I make him come on and talk, but I'm being nice this week.
Nice. Awesome.
So now that I interrupted you, continue on. So you've got all these fabulous things that you're doing.
Yeah. So I want to dive deep right now into this topic because, it is a sensitive, very powerful topic for people when it comes to, having confidence in our money, moolah, abundance, and whatever somebody wants to label it. But, I focus on the wallet parts. You got your wallet, it's in your pocket, it's in your purse, right? Most people say, okay, what's in my wallet? It's my credit card, some cash, whatever little, cards we have, multiple ones nowadays for grocery stores and all of that. But people will say, oh, that wallet represents this, what I have in here. And I'm struggling because there's no cash in there, or I'm whatever, right? But it's deeper than that. So when I started really analyzing it, I started thinking that, having the confidence behind our cash can have some other lower vibrational, quote unquote, emotions. And shame can be one of them. The shame of not being where we want to be. Oh, there's some emotion in that because I can feel that. Or the shame of saying, I went through college and I'm not where I have my degree or what I wanted to accomplish through getting that degree, right? And that wallet can represent that, meaning they could have hardly anything in it, lots of debt, and some bad debt for that matter, right? And then them feeling ashamed of what's in that, right? The emotion.
Have you found also that people tend to spend whatever it is that they make, and their wallet tends to be thin if they've got that mindset?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yes, you make 20,000 a year, you spend 22,000 a year. You make 100,000 a year, you spend 120,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Right.
2 years ago, you lived on 20 and you were fine. So what happened to the other 80?
Right. And shame can be attached to that as well, right? Thinking, why can't I live within my means? Why can't I have what I want and not be in this other part of chaos, right? Yeah. So the shame of that to their family, to their own self, right? For that matter, right?
So how do we overcome that kind of shame? And I mean, shame's a huge, huge emotion. And, you know, the core of it, of course, is fear. But, you know, where does that shame, where does that shame stem from? And where do we begin to focus on overcoming that shame?
Yeah. So, you know, we have our limiting beliefs in our subconscious space. They're usually created before the age of 7 between caregivers. There's 5 ways to pick up limiting beliefs: mom and dad, or mom and dad like figures, God, someone else, or something else, right? And so I tell people, think about your childhood, especially when it comes to your money. What was being presented in the 4 walls? Was dad living on a shoestring and feeling confident that he could spend, and then on the other hand arguing with mom that she was spending too much money? So money is bad, quote unquote, because you sit back as a child watching mom and dad argue over it, right?
Yeah.
Or things are going really great. Dad gets, well, let's say mom gets laid off, and now there's only one income, and then struggle happens. And then they may even having to move. That can appear in a childhood too. And then the child will say, work is not good. Work is evil. This money is evil. And then they'll walk around going, I don't really care. And then I don't care about money. I don't care about this and that. And they're not taking care of their environment, themselves. And then they're sitting in the corner later on going, I'm ashamed for how I've gotten into this place, right? And that we just really have to think about what our environment showed us, because we already know it's a blueprint in us. And as an adult, here we are getting triggered by people, places, and things around us. But we think, why'd you say that? Why'd you do that? When in fact, it's the feeling that's being bubbled up. And it's an opportunity for you to do things differently within that exact moment. So don't let that emotion own you. Don't respond or react instantaneous. Step back, ground yourself, get away from that moment, meaning go through it. Then when you get to the other side, say, okay, what did I feel? What emotion was I feeling then? How old was I when I felt that last time? And who was I with? I was with mom. I remember when she used to act, you know, so carefree and got us all in trouble. And then there's where, you know, you can repeat those feelings from childhood, but it's being triggered as an adult. And then it's an opportunity to say, you know what? That was them and not me. This is an opportunity for me to change and me to know that my patterns can be repetitive of theirs, or I might be doing the complete opposite. Like, you know, they were so frivolous and I'm not going to be that way. And then you're strangle holding all your income, and it takes you forever to build up what's in your wallet. And you want to know why it's taking so long.
Yeah. You know, and I agree with everything you just said. And it's funny because we do inherit some of these behaviors, and we learn them as infants and don't even know we learned them. I mean, I look at my mom and dad. They worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. And sometimes they had lots of money. My dad always spent lots of money. If he saw a good sale, there was a sale on Spider-Man phones. And this is back when you had house phones plugged into the lines. He found a good sale on Spider-Man phones, so he bought 15 of them. Oh. We didn't have 15 plugs in our house.
Oh.
But it was on sale.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I have to catch myself sometimes going, oh, that's a good sale. Going, but you don't need it. Yeah. But I have to consciously stop myself and say that. Yeah. But I got the work. And people say, well, what do you do for fun? I work. That's fun for me. I enjoy it. Yeah. And my kids have ended up being that same way. They work and work and work, but they had the opposite situation. Their mom worked all the freaking time, right? And their dad, bless his heart, often did not work and was without job most of our marriage.
Yeah.
And we made good money, but we lived paycheck to paycheck. In fact, sometimes you had to go to payday loans just to make it through to the paycheck,
Oh wow.
which puts you even further behind.
Yeah.
And I remember one of his responsibilities was the utilities. He was responsible for those. And I remember the kids calling me while I was on the road speaking saying, water got turned off again. And I give them my card number. They call in and say they were him, and they pay the water bill. And so they grew up with that.
Yeah.
And so I see them now. There's two forms. There's one that just doesn't spend a penny and is very, very frugal because, but he works his butt off. Another one who works his butt off and is frugal, but because of his fear of being behind, he's always, I don't have enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then another one that works her butt off and doesn't matter what she makes, she spends it, but she never is behind.
Yeah.
But she's into that spending. But it's funny to watch, and I can link back all three of their behaviors to things they learned in their childhood.
Exactly.
That I didn't mean to teach them.
Yeah.
And I was very money conscious to not make money negative. We used to say, and I thought it was positive, and now I look back and go, well, that was dumb. But we used to play the someday when we have millions of dollars, I'm going to buy. I go, can I tell a funny story? I know this isn't Karenisms, but it is funny.
Go ahead.
So we're in the car driving. It's a long drive, one of those 6 hours drive, and we're playing someday when I've lost some money. And my kids are tiny. My daughter says, I'm going to buy a castle. And my baby, he was just tiny, like a year and a half old, barely talking. I don't remember what he was going to buy, but it was like a car or something. And then my middle child, without missing a beat, said, not me. When I have lots of money, I'm going to buy a new bum because mine has a crack down the middle.
All right now.
He's like 2.5.
That is like, so funny.
What?
That's so
anyway,
funny.
But even then at that young age, we were teaching them money things.
Right.
Without even meaning to.
And that's right. And I really actually, you were saying giving us some examples of things that are right in front of our face. But I want to add one, and this is how simple it can be, like you were saying, without even meaning to. So every Sunday, we would go grocery shopping after church, my partner, our kids. And the first thing we always started at this particular grocery store with the produce. So I would always give the girls their bags and I'd say, okay, I need these certain vegetables or fruit. And I'd tell them, bring it back to me so I can teach you how to look if it's good or not. And then about the fruit, I'd say, look at what's on sale. So that was what I would say. But it was a natural thing for me because my mom always bought the fruit on sale. So I would always and not knowing that I'm now teaching the kids, you can't buy anything that you really want with fruit. It has to be on sale. Not knowing. So that's an unintentional, like you were saying, as we unintentionally create these limiting beliefs. And then how my daughter today, and I did not realize it till we were talking about grocery shopping a couple of years ago. And she goes, oh yeah, Mom, I just buy the fruit on sale. And I'm like, why? And then I realized I did that.
Yeah.
Unintentionally. Yeah.
So if we can see that we did that to our kids, then we've got to look back and we're still responsible for everything we do. And excuse me, I've got to decline a call.
Yeah, no worries.
It comes up on my computer and the phone and blocks everything out. I turned it off, but it came up. But we're still responsible for what we do. We can choose to change the way we do things. But I think it's important, as you said, to look at it. I use RAFU. You got to recognize you're having an emotion. You got to acknowledge what emotion it is. You've got to feel it and feel it fully, because until you allow yourself to feel it, you're going to continue to pretend it's not there. And then you got to process it. And this is where you go through all of that. Where did it come from? Why did I have it? What did I do? Blah, blah. And then you can use it for good, or you can diffuse it and say, it doesn't matter, let it go.
Exactly.
But that processing, where did this emotion come from? When was the first time I felt this way?
Yes.
When was it? Where was I? And you were saying that. Who was I with? What was I doing? What was being said? What was the feeling at that time? And that is so powerful that you said that, because it is, I think that's the core, is we got to really sit down and think, where did it come from?
Right.
So that we can let go of it, because some of these things we think we have to hold on to subconsciously out of honor and respect. And it's like, absolutely, that's not honor and respect. That's just stupid.
So if I could share, there is a comment on my Facebook from our show. Could I read that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So Fiona was saying, so interesting. My mother had to hide what she spent, as Dad would say she didn't need it. Remember, that's what you had mentioned. One of our jobs as kids was to not tell Dad what she bought. Another thing we did was to tell her she deserved it. So interesting. As children, our parents would not allow money to come to us. They would tell everyone that we had to learn to work for love, not money. Wow. That's crazy.
Thank you. Yeah. Tell her thank you for the comment. And I say it, but thank you for that.
Yes.
Okay. People on mine got a comment. I got to keep up with Terry, keep up with the jokes. No, I'm kidding. That is not why I want them to comment. I want them to comment so that they get their questions answered and share valuable information.
Yes. So she was taught to hide. Don't tell anybody when you're spending your own money, because you never know. But, on the other hand, oh, Mom, you deserve it. But then Dad, on the other hand, so you have to she was taught that you have to fight your battles. Like, do we really deserve it? Okay, I can deserve it, but I have to do it secretly.
Closet spenders.
Yeah. Yeah.
My younger sister used to take a red pen with her to the store. And when she got out to the car, she would draw a line through all the prices and tell her husband, look, I got it on sale.
Oh, wow.
So that kind of goes along the same line. So, where did that come from, and why do we feel that need?
Oh, you just said it. And Fiona just says, and guess what? I have money hidden in my bedroom. You see what I just said before she even responded? That I said that she'll either do it quietly or say it out loud. I deserve this. Yeah, exactly. That's how it happens. And that's from the childhood, and so there can be some shame in that, with her saying that, I got to hide this, because if I don't, then people won't think I do deserve it. I have to prove that I can deserve it. So, that's that fight, man. Fiona, girl, you need to see me.
Yeah, Fiona, you need to see Terry. Go see her.
But, on top of shame, there can be anger. The anger of strangleholding. Why can't I have this? Why is it taking so long? Right? And then, again, the childhood stuff, right? Is that if Mom was working, but then she has grandma limiting beliefs, meaning I'm the granddaughter, I'm the daughter, then that's the mom, and then the grandmom, and I'm watching how Mom spends, and grandma's going, you're spending too much money. And then Mom's going, I hate her, I'm going to do it my way. And that's the anger of money being, that catalyst between argument, and then the daughter watching how money can cause arguments. And I'm just angry over money. Why does money have to be that way? Delete, delete, delete.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you hear sometimes money is the root of all evil. But in reality, all money does is give us the opportunity to be more of what we are. So if we're evil and we get lots of money, we spend it evilly. If we're generous and kind and giving, it allows us to be more generous, kind, and giving. It just allows us to be more of whatever we already are. And so,
I'll
there's
add that
no guilt.
it creates opportunities. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's a fight I would get into with my youngest. Has a couple of friends, had an old girlfriend, that anyone who had money was evil. And I'm like, and I'm avoiding a political issue on this one, but anyone who has money that's evil. And I'm like, now wait a minute. The people who have money own the businesses that employ you so that you get money so that you can buy food, and they produce the food and the clothing so that you can buy the food and clothing. And if they didn't have money, they wouldn't be able to run these businesses, and you wouldn't have a job. And it was well, they shouldn't have any of it. They should give it all away. And it's like,
Oh.
You work hard for it, you deserve it. And that goes back to the I was taught anybody who has more than I wasn't, but she was, but she was taught anyone who has more than I do is evil because they should be giving it to everyone else so we all have the equal amount.
I see that in comments on social media where the public, certain people placing comments of saying, oh, you're just, what is that, something baby, or I can't remember, they Nepo baby, or, and then my head goes, wait a minute, that person, may it be a celebrity or a sports star or whatever, they have talent to get where they are, and then the ability to manifest and invest what they have. So we should be celebrating them. It doesn't matter if they're supporting their children or giving it or building churches or hospitals or whatever, but it's not about dragging people down for how they've been able to lift themselves up, but being able to celebrate them, that they were able to lift their own selves up.
Well, and that goes back to the whole topic of manifesting money. Anybody can manifest money. They just got to believe they can. So it doesn't matter. I'll tell you what, some of my wealthiest friends came from beyond poverty. In fact, I had several that lived in their cars and some that didn't even have a car to live in. And so, that story that, well, you got to have money to make money.
Mm-hmm.
No, you got to have determination and develop a skill. And only you can develop a skill and manifest what it is that you want. And you're going to tell us how to do that manifesting. I know.
Exactly. But I want to add another one, resentment. And people will find, yes, it's huge with money, and they don't realize that they're resenting the fact that money is, and I'm going to say ... but we're going to fill in, between you and I, fill in many blanks with that. That they're resentful that money controlled their atmosphere, that mom couldn't get what she wanted, dad got hurt from it, that I just heard IRS. Like, look what happened when the IRS came in, and that has to do with money. And why does money have to be the ruler of everything? And, and why can't I have what they have? And then what happens is you start getting into that tornado, if you want to call it that spiral, a rabbit hole of going downhill, because your head is going, oh, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm resentful that this money is not getting into my pocket, and how can they do it? And if you're going outside of yourself and you're getting angry at everything that is around you, you're not stopping long enough to go in and say, wait a minute, hold on now. My childhood showed me a lot of this. My childhood and the patterns that were in there were showing me, as we were explaining about, anger and shame. But then getting out of the head, because the head is going to make the body respond. And the body is going to either hang on to the emotion or show you physically what's going to happen. And I see it all the time in my clients, all the time. I just worked on a client literally right before this show. And here's how this works. So I'm not going to give you what he was thinking. I'm going to tell you what happened physically. And then I'm going to go back and tell you what he was thinking. So in the end, he was playing basketball. He put his foot down to guard the other guy coming to him. And the guy coming to him was a friend, so I want to put that there. And he hit him within his knee, either with his foot or his knee. And he hit it at a way that his entire knee bent backwards. Yes.
Ow, 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 that hurts.
And popped it back. But then after that, then you have torn ligaments, torn nerves. You have all sorts of things, right? He's even pulled something away from the muscle or whatever. And so he had the surgery in February, and he's coming to see me because his foot's been dragging. So, I had to clear. Now, this is what was going on. I said, okay, let's go back 3 to 6 months prior to the accident. I said, and the people that you were playing with, were you in any altercation or having any emotional breakdowns between any of those people? He goes, yeah, 2 of them. Bingo. One of them was with the one who tapped his knee and then made it go back. So all the body, all pieces or parts of the body represents things. The knee represents restricted or capped off. His knee went backwards. So he felt very restricted and capped off based on what the interaction was with him and the guy who hit him, right? And then foot is moving forward. Left side mom, right side dad. Masculine energy on the dad, masculine guy hitting masculine guy. Okay. So then I said, okay, tell me, and I already knew, but I wanted him to fully be aware of what was going on. I said, tell me what you were talking about 3 to 6 months before. He says, oh, we had a little situation where I wanted him to say certain things and he didn't, and he revealed something that I didn't want revealed. So then he felt restricted and capped off. He felt attacked before the physical attack happened, right? He didn't feel supported. Hips down to the ankle are support. So your legs are representing support for your body. So everything that went on, it was only at I think he said 2 months before the basketball accident, actually happened and then represented in his body exactly what happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we have to be very present in what we're thinking and how we're responding in anger and resentment, especially with our cash, because it will affect what we are creating in the future and now. It is so imperative to be fully present and to get a hold of any anger, resentment, lower vibrational emotions, shame, guilt, doubt, right? And then making sure, because you are creating the future of something to happen that is going to happen and you're not going to like it. It could knock you out of a job. It could cause something to interact and then you hurt yourself. And I'm just going to throw this out. So I did Power Stream July 1st. And it just happened July 1st, because I do it the 1st of every month. And a couple of hours before I actually did the live Power Stream, I was feeling fatigued. So I was laying down and the cat came up, and she is very furry and started going, make this, she's going to throw up, right? So I jumped out of bed. And I know, because I've had her for years, that I could catch her fast enough. I can put her in the shower or the sink and let her throw up there so I don't have to clean it up later, right?
Right.
So I jumped up. She ran downstairs. I'm at the top of the stairs and she starts heaving. I ran down to the bottom stairs. Got down to the bottom stairs. I scooped her up with my left hand. And then I catapulted to go into the kitchen. Kitchen has tile. I have socks on. I catapulted. I pushed so hard off the bottom step to go into the kitchen that I lost all my balance. And now, have you ever gotten to the point where you're running to get your balance because now you're leaning too far forward? And now I'm in socks and I'm kind of doing this fast kind of pace trying to catch up with my balance. And then my body goes forward. I fall flat down on my knees, boom, straight on my knees. And then I went forward and I was so close to the oven that I had, I went, and I put my mouth forward and I lifted my head and I bit through my lip. Now it's healed. It's healed. It's right
Oh,
there. I healed. However, I bit right through it. It was cut. Probably should have had a stitch. But then I rolled back and I went to my side. Now, this represents a lot of things. Knees represent restricted or capped off, right? Left side mom, right side dad, left side feminine, right side masculine, right? But I fell completely flat, right? Restricted and capped off in all aspects of my energy because I went flat down, right? And then mouth is communication, throat is communication, words coming out, right? And I thought, what is going on? I laid there and I said, okay, God, where I'm with you, I know what my thoughts were. I was feeling very restricted in all aspects of me and God. That's everything and more. I was feeling restricted in being able to move forward in something and being able to communicate it out. So biting through, like I was so frustrated and angry, literally bit through my lip. So and I kind of chuckled and I touched my body and said, okay, I created this. But when there's a repetitive cycle in your head and you're not present, and before you know it, weeks later, you're still saying the same thing in your head, you're creating the energy of something to happen. It had nothing to do with my cat throwing up. It had nothing to do with me jumping down and having socks on. It had everything to do with everything that hurt in my body in the end going, I got it. I'm clear on this. I am fully present, and reminding yourself to get back on track to be fully present. This has everything to do about your cash, your manifestation, your ability to move forward and create without a doubt. But we have to be fully present at all times in what we're thinking and how we're getting these stories in our head, and then how it can spiral us out or lift us up.
well, that which we focus on expands.
Absolutely.
So we got to change our focus to being present and to all of the awesome opportunities that are before us.
Absolutely. But it is a lifestyle, Karen. This is, as you know, this is a lifestyle. It's like if I gave you some flowers, that's a gift right there and then. But that's wonderful that you're present and seeing me giving the gift. But every day is a gift. The four walls are a gift to protect us. The hot water from our shower, the toothpaste on our toothbrush. So on. I mean, I could go on and on. It's everything. But we seem to only focus on those moments of gifts versus every second of our life being a gift. There's something in it every second. And then when we're fully present and knowing what's in our head, what we're saying, and then taking those moments, like, when you're in the shower, you don't have to constantly think about what you're going to do at work. You don't have to think about what you're going to have for lunch. That's an opportunity to manifest. That's an opportunity to clear your mind. It's a mini meditation. Clear your mind. You don't have to think about the soap because we just naturally do it. We've been doing it all our lives. Just clear your mind. What will it take to have? What will it take to clear anything that's keeping me from? What will it take for me to supersize into all the abundance and more with ease and grace right here, right now? What would that take? And then as you're getting out of the shower, then you go back to thinking about what your goals are, what your plans are, what you're going to have, what you're going to dress with today. And then being fully present on what's going on around you as what you sent to the collective consciousness is coming back to you in signs. And I tell people, as you're driving, you stop at a stoplight. You're looking around. There's cars driving right in front of you as you're stopped at the stoplight, right? Bus goes by. 2 weeks before, you might have told a girlfriend, oh, we should go on vacation. Where do you want to go? Oh, let me think about it. So you're sitting at the bus or a stoplight, and the bus goes by and says, go to Tahiti. It's the best time of year. It's right there. So everyone thinks, oh, but I was right at the stoplight. Well, yeah. And you manifested that bus coming by at the same time you were at that stoplight. Just say yes, yes, yes.
Just do it.
Exactly. And that way, you can get out of all of the lower vibrational things that are keeping you from, and that you're struggling with, and that you're angry over, and that any shame or doubt, especially doubt creeps in so many different ways. I doubt I can have it because in high school you weren't picked to be on the team. I doubt I could do it because dad always said, are you using your brain? And I'm apologizing right now for saying dad, because it's just the thing that's coming, I'm picking up. But, somebody obviously has some dad blocks with all of this stuff. But, there's mom stuff too as well. Not feeling good enough when she's saying, did you do this? Did you do it the way I showed you? Did you? And then feeling like you're not good enough when you did do it, when she's asking you to repeat it again, right?
My family's favorite things were to say, if you were smart, you would. You're stupid if you don't. Instead of saying, hey, Walmart's got a great sale, you may want to consider it. Or instead of saying, I saw this fabulous car, I know you're looking for one, you may want to look at it. Instead, it's like, if you were smart, you would go look at this car. Or you're stupid if you don't take the chance to see it because it was amazing. And again, I don't think anybody even realized what they were saying.
Yeah.
But it's like, I am smart, I'm not dumb, and that just happens to not be important to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, it's just a repetitive pattern, cycle after cycle after cycle, until someone stops and breaks it. When you were, fully aware of how it was making you feel, now here as an adult, realizing, oh, that was put upon me from mom. I'm not going to do that to my kids. I'm not going to do that to my friends, and be fully present and aware for them, breaking the cycle.
And I think people need to understand that breaking the cycle can happen at any age. Yeah. You don't have to break the cycle when your kids are small, or if you never have kids, or in your 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s or 90s. There's at any point you can break that cycle.
Right.
Because people are always watching you, and forget people watching you. It's your own personal happiness.
Right. I love that you just said that, because, when I'm on looking at my clients and I say, while we're clearing these limiting beliefs and whatever's in your subconscious that's holding you, I want you to understand that right here, right now, you stepped into it. Right here, right now, you manifested this moment. Right here, right now, you will not be laying on that last bed you're laying on with that last breath, and you won't be saying, the shouldas, the wouldas, the couldas, because right here, right now, you're doing something about it. So anyone listening to this, anyone live or listening to the recording, right here, right now, you're having the opportunity to listen and make the changes right here, right now.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's, yeah. And I don't think, one of the excuses I hear is, it's just who I am. It's just who I am.
Oh,
I've always been this way.
I have heard that so many times. And I tell them, no, it's got to be get put in there somewhere. You come into this world, you may feel that you can, create more in the world, but what you are saying, that this is just the way I am, that's when I say, go back to your childhood and look at dad, look at mom, look at the patterns, look at your caregivers, and maybe grandma and grandpa as well, aunts and uncles as well, right? And realize that it's not just who you are. It's what you took in. It's what was put upon you. And you don't have to live in the dungeon that was put upon you. You can take action to change it.
Well, I like how you said to look at others as well, because maybe mom and dad were great and perfect with it, but you had siblings that weren't, or cousins or aunts and uncles, or maybe it was a school teacher at school that would ridicule you, or the kids would ridicule you.
Yeah.
They don't just ridicule the poor kids. Sometimes they ridicule the kids that are in middle class or that have more money.
That's a perfect example, because I have a client who has her parents are wonderful, very supportive. Every summer when she was little, she would go visit the grandmother, the mom's mom, on her farm. Her grandmother taught her the old ways of how to service the family, right? So she would teach her how to bake, how to tea, serve, fold napkins, the old grandma way, right?
Right.
And then now here she is living in the space of how to be in service to the family. And she's getting resentful and angry because it's not working for her, because they're taking advantage unintentionally, because it seems like, well, it's easy for her. And she's like, I don't understand. I'm doing this and I'm doing it more and I'm doing it even more. And I don't feel like I'm getting what I'm seeking inside back.
Well, and
Setting
honest
yourself up for failure.
as the other person not doing the service, sometimes I say, well, that's just something they like to do. I don't care if they do it or not. They want to do it, go for it. And so I would be one that probably, though I'd be very thankful and grateful for what they were doing, would come across as not caring and not appreciating, because I would assume they were doing it for them, not for me, because it's not necessarily what I wanted or needed.
Right. And, when I talk about couples, I say, look, we can't read minds. I'm really pretty good at it. But when you're couples, if you've been around together for a long period of time, what happens is each one will get in their head and they'll say, let's say the mom is in the kitchen, the woman is in the kitchen, and she's struggling to put everything together. Pots and pans are making noises. She's frustrated. The cat's meowing. The dog is crying or whatever. And he's reading a newspaper. Now, in her head, she's saying, can't he see me? Can't he hear me? Why is he not helping me? I'm not going to ask him. He should know. He, on the other hand, in his head is saying, if she needs me, she'll call me. She knows I love her. I'm going to just sit here and let her know I'm here, but when she needs me, because she said, I got it. But this time she'll tell me she's got it or she'll need me. And so now there's this non-spoken argument and she gets resentful and he goes, what do you mean? Why didn't you just call me? And now he gets angry. And then so that's where if it's non-communication is not going to work, my friends. If you need something, it's okay, especially when you've been long-term in a relationship. It's okay to say, hey, babes, can you come in here? Hey, babes, let's cook together. Hey, babes, I need you to do the cleanup afterwards. They'll be happy to help. Now, I know when I just made that comment, a lot of people are, well, wait a minute, because it's already built up to that emotional breaking point. But before then, yes, that back and forth would have been easy, but we end up setting ourselves up for failure with non-communication. We can't sit there and say, you expect your partner to read your mind that you need help, even though, because ladies, I've been in that situation many a times. But then I realize I need help. Hey, sweets. Hey, babe, need some help. But getting up and saying it before it gets to that built up frustration and anger and resentment. This has everything to do with cash. This has everything to do with abundance. Abundance is part of your cash, your wallet, your money, your this. If you're thinking it this way, and you're irritated and frustrating that, if you're a single person and that you can label my love, my support is my money. My support.
Right.
Me. My support pays my bills, right? But then if your support isn't looking like it's supporting you, then you're going to tolerate it, hang on to it, squeeze it like a turnip, try to squeeze the blood out, right? And then that doesn't work. That's that energetic duality. No, it's not going to work.
And so
right?
we know the things that we've been doing that we need to change. What is it we can do to help us manifest? We've just got about 5 minutes left. So
Yes.
what can we do to make that into an
Mhm.
energetic, high vibrational manifestations that we know will come true?
Yes, yes. Number one, meditate. You got to meditate, people. If you brush your teeth, you need to meditate, and it should be just like that. People think, oh, I got to sit in the corner and and journal, and it's going to take an hour. No, I just gave you a simple one. If you are really listening to
Yep.
this call, this podcast, whatever you want to call
You
it,
can do it in the shower.
shower. You can do it when you're getting dressed. You can do it when you're putting your shoes on. You can do it when you're cooking.
When you're driving.
Yes, I say that. People are, what do you mean? I got to see, I got to drive. And I'm like, you can clearly know, you just clear your mind. That's all. You can say, hey, what will it take for me to have the answers that I need to move forward in this experience now? Make sure you
Some
add
of my best ideas come when I'm driving.
this. Mine are in the shower. Girl, I'm like,
Right.
it's like big
Yeah.
downloads. Yeah, because I just set it free. So meditate. As I said, these little snippets of time, or even, yes, take a time, 15 minutes, put a little meditation music on, set your intent, ask for what you need, and go into the meditation. We do have to clear the mind. There's so many steps, but I don't have time to explain it all with meditation. I had to self-teach myself, and it took 3 months. But I know and understand how it takes to get to that point. If you want what you want, you won't give up. If you want what you want, you won't give up. If it takes 3 months to meditate, it's going to take 3 months to meditate. It could take 3 minutes. But don't set yourself up for failure by saying, well, if this is not going to happen in a couple times, I can't do it. Then you don't want what you want.
Yeah.
So you're just going to stick with what you have. And if what you have is satisfying enough, then you don't need to meditate. But let me tell you, everybody needs to meditate to clear the mind and to connect, right?
Well, a habit changes in a single second.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, you can say, yeah, but I tried all this time to break the habit. Yep, but there was a point where you said, I'm done. In that single moment, the habit was broken.
Yeah, that's right. Letting go of the resistance, right? So meditate. And, you have to trust and believe. Remember, I said this whole thing is a lifestyle. You have to put it together. When people come to me, they either, have gotten to the point of total frustration with what they're doing, and they're going to try this, or they know this works and they come in easily and jump on the bed and say, make it happen, because they're ready. And then those ones are easy for me to just poo, 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 right? But the ones who are like, well, I've done all this and more, and I've come to you now because somebody recommended you. That's awesome. So you finally manifested enough to come in here and make it happen, right? So you're still doing it. You're still manifesting. You're still creating. But instead of being frustrated, it took me this long. No, it's happening now, right? So believe, and trust. Let me tell you, there's been so many things that you get to the very 11:59 points, or the time frame. What is it? Before the clock strikes 12, 11:59 seconds, right? That it can happen at the very last second. I can tell you some things that would just totally blow your mind. And actually, two, they happen quite often for me, because I live in that space of creating and manifesting. And yes, it can. I'm a magical unicorn, but I believe it. I know it.
Yeah.
And I work very focused and hard, right? Meaning that hard is just staying focused and getting it done, right? So I say it's hard because the others think it's hard. Me, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
And so when I say hard, they say, oh, okay, now I have to work. Yeah, but the work is really easy. And if you remove the label hard and just replace it with new, then all of a sudden you're moving into it versus moving away from it. So this is a new way of living, a new lifestyle, a new wanting, a new desire, a new creation.
I
Right?
love that.
Yeah.
Well, with your new creation and your manifesting, was that what you did on this wonderful book that you have, The Secret Power of You?
Yes. Woo-hoo.
I want to hear all about that.
This is my pride and joy. You know, I put the cover together. I picked
I love that cover.
And I hired somebody to do it, but I ended up having to spend 40 hours just for the artwork, to find the artwork, because I wanted what I wanted. I wanted to resonate with everyone, that they could understand that the secret power of you is really within you, about you creating and trusting within you, about you in your thoughts and manifesting from here. But your thoughts are a creation of manifestation, right? And then you can find this on Amazon. You can find it on my website. But there's simple yet very profound techniques in here that help you see your limiting beliefs and how to shift them. Yes, this is a profound little book, but I'm telling you, to be able to, when I started on my spiritual journey, I realized these things are so simple, and we're making it hard in our mind. And we have to feel like we have to work so hard to get it. But I'm like, you know what? So I put it in book form. So I realized that this golden nugget right here can help you in a way that you never thought you could imagine, just by seeing things a little differently in a simple form and take action on it.
I think what I had to work hard on was letting go, and because people begin to wear it as their badge.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I'm this way. I'm this way.
Yes.
I was brought up this way. It's my badge of honor. It's who I am. And it was ripping that badge off and taking that away as my identity. I think that was the hardest part.
Yes. Yes. It's funny, you've brought that up a couple times. So obviously that's something that you have and continue to work on.
I'm working on it a lot. And we can talk privately, but I've got stuff coming up next week that's going to have to make me face it yet again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, you're going to work all your life on this stuff. And people say, why can't I just dump it all? Because what happens is that it's like a jigsaw puzzle. Somebody has to come in, this has to happen, this age, this time, this year, this moment, for it to be triggered. You could go years without being triggered because you've worked on a lot of stuff, because at the beginning it's going to be one right after another and it's going to make you feel crazy. Yeah. But once you get to that, and now there's really deep ones, you're still going to have these moments where here it comes, and enjoy the ride. Because you're going to be able to work through it, and you're going to be able to see what it was, and you're going to be able to know that it's not going to happen again, or something comes to you, you're going to respond differently. Well,
it's that you now have the skills and the strategies to respond differently. And putting your book up again, to get the skills and strategies to do it, you're going to want to go to The Secret Power of You, get it now. And get it from her site, terriechristine.com, or get it from Amazon. I think I prefer you go to terriechristine.com personally, because I know what Amazon charges her. I know that end, but that's a Karen thing. That being said, Terri, we've got so much more to share. We're going to have you on again another week. I want to talk about you being a unicorn, because my goodness, you are a unicorn. You are a unicorn. I want to become a little magic fairy and a dragon. I want to be a magic fairy and a dragon. So maybe I should be a magic dragon.
Just own it. Just say you are now.
I am a magic dragon. I love dragons and fairies.
Yes. Yes.
I really connect with them.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we are at the end of the hour, and that went fast. And I want to thank you, Terri, so much for being on. And I want to remind everybody else about the retreat. The retreat, again, is on October 12th through 19th. It's in Alone, Ecuador. It is all inclusive. Go to drkarenperkins.com/retreat.
When is it? When?
October 12th through 19th. Yes. And if you put in the code FNF500, FNF 500, you get a $500 discount on the retreat.
I wrote it down.
Woohoo!
To the 19th.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. And also, we've got another wonderful guest for next week, and I'll be putting out things on that for next week. And got the show on Monday. Don't forget the show on Monday. But let's give Terri a big woohoo! Woohoo! She done did good. She done did good. Yeah, I don't do that well, so I go woohoo!
I love you.
I dance like Elaine on Seinfeld, only worse. But that's okay. I own it.
There you go. Just own it.
I own it. Oh, that's funny. Well, again, Terri, thank you so much for being on this week. As always, you are just filled with joy and enthusiasm and tons and tons and tons of valuable information and insight.
Thanks.
That being said, ciao for now, everyone.
Ta-ta.